the number one criticism of this show, Zach By, is we don't give enough Met love. So who better to give Met love than the biggest Met fan I've ever seen in my entire life, super comedian Jim Breuer. Hello, sir.
How are we today?
Well, way better now, because, so Jim, here you are on 104.5 The Team, and we are the home for Yankees baseball, but we love the Mets, too, especially with what they're doing this year. And I know you're coming to town, and I know you've got a big album coming out. How are you still getting time to watch your boys at night in and night out?
I haven't been able to watch in and out except for the last 3-4 weeks. And, still, if I get to go on the road, I watch them on my MLB app, so all is good. But I've watched almost every game for the last 3 weeks or so, and I don't want to get too hopped up, but I'm starting to get hopped up.
Jim Breuer joining us right now on 104.5 The Team. Jim, you are coming to town. We're going to see you at the Troy Savings Bank Music Hall. It's on 32nd Street in Troy. It's Friday, September 16th. Now, getting hopped up. I'm going to ask you some Mets questions because I watched the World Series trip last year. Your videos made it more exciting for me than anything else.
If you told me that making a recap, a minute of being a fanboy recap would turn into what it did, I'd say out of mind. 24, 25 years, whatever. Now have baked those videos blasted across the world like I would have never imagined. That's the power of social media. And at the end of the day, I'm not even trying. I don't even know what I'm doing. Someone had to show me how to post them, and you got to tag. I tagged for 3 weeks. I can't tag. If people find it, they find it. I can't do this stuff.
Jim Breuer with us, though. Now, you say you didn't know what you were doing, you're just being a fan, but you are a real, you can tell when I hear you talk, you're a real fan. What kind of heartache are you going through this year with just the injuries alone?
Well, the injuries are brutal, and I have a hard time thinking what if. But then again, you can't live your life in what if. And I sit there and go, oh my God, can you imagine Cespedes, Bruce, Duda, Wright, Reyes? Oh my God, nobody's beat Harvey. You can't think like that. What they have, right? When I watched Cespedes last night, he's got 2 strikes. He's looking at the pitcher like, okay, you got me there. You ain't going to get me again. Bang! Hits it 400-something feet. Next inning, he's against the wall, He throws him out at second like it was nothing. Their fastest play. I don't know what he is. He's a freak show. And what I've noticed, he has caused the rest of the Mets to relax. And now that they know he's a savage, it just adds a whole new dynamic. Reyes gets on, he scores. He's just like back in the mid-'90s. It's Cabrera. He's unthinkable. Who is this guy? He seems going to hit big home runs the way he does. It is there. And if Bruce wakes up, I'm telling you, man, this league is in bad trouble. And when you see guys like Walker go down, when Walker went down, I got a little scared. He's a clutch hitter. He's a big-time player. He's a big, he's a good team guy. He's a hustler. That worried me. And then what happened? The day's gone. Johnson, big home run. Wilmer's hitting hole. They're stepping up, and I think they're starting to taste. You know, when you start tasting the ice cream, go, I want the rest of that Sunday. I think that's their feeling. They want the rest of that Sunday. And if they can march on for the team they have on, they deserve everything they get.
Jim Breuer with us right now, super Mets fan among a million other great things and talents and skills. So what's you said you want all the ice cream. How much is all the ice cream? You guys going back to the series this year?
I want the series. I don't know. They're going on kids filling in. It's the Cubs scare me because of their pitching and their hitting. They're just a solid team. But I got to say the Nationals scare me. They got a stellar pitching staff. However, when you look at the Mets the last 3 weeks, the rookies they're putting in are undefeated. Now, again, 1-2 games before the league figures it out. But Lugo's 3-0. He looks untouchable. It's like the Mets, they bring up these pitchers, and it's like a circus, and they keep coming out of the little Volkswagen. I've never seen anything like it. And then you have Bartolo Colon is 49, 400 pounds. A wheelbarrow brings him out, and he shuts people down. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Jim, whenever like there's a post game for Bartolo, I always wonder myself, like, if you're playing middle infield, like, is the real reason Walker's not there is every fastball Bartolo cuts one.
Well, the guy's he's another freak of nature, and he's a good fielder too. That's the scary part. He jumps on there like he's a rhino. You ever see rhinos look lethargic, and then all of a sudden if they want to move, they quick turn, and then they're on you and they're galloping. Wow, how does a beast run like that? He's a machine. I'm very excited about these Mets. A lot of questions, but I'm still excited.
Hey, Jim, Zach By hanging out in studio with Levack this afternoon. I got to ask you why we have you on the line. You played an iconic character in the movie Half Baked. Do you ever get tired of, people asking you to get back into character and do the whole, I'm not going to do what everyone thinks I'm going to do. Flip out.
No, you know why? I got to be honest with you. I like hearing that more than Go Boy.
I was going to say.
I like Go Boy, whatever. It sells tickets. That's great. And it still gets me a reservation at a restaurant. But the half-baked character is such a cult classic. It still lives. This is the way I used to go, oh, man, you ever see The Big Lebowski or
right.
Blazing Saddles? I can't compare to those. But to hear these generations go, this is the greatest movie. That was my favorite. I watched it 500 times. I'll take that any day of the week. I've marked myself in entertainment history. I don't have a billion movies under my belt, but I have one Cespedes 450 shot upper deck home run, and that's all I care about.
And that's like,
I love it. I love it.
Jim Breuer with us here on 104.5 The Team. Levack got by sitting with me. So that's the one, like for me, I never got into the greenery growing up, but that's the one that all my friends were like, dude, you don't understand that movie. You don't understand that movie.
No, and I don't think you have to understand the greenery, but
no, I always loved it. I love the movie, and like everybody's like, no, you think you love it. Imagine how much you'd love it on weed.
On weed. Right. Well, hopefully all the stoners out there will join the Mets on weed. But even if you don't, like myself now, they're going to be very exciting.
Jim Breuer with us, 104.5 The Team, coming to the Troy Savings Bank Music Hall on Friday, September 16th, 8 o'clock. Get your tickets at the Savings Bank Hall, Music Hall, box office, ticket, all the fun things. But also, all right, so I'm Twitter stalking you, Breuer, and I see you got your album coming out.
It's out. It's already cranking, and I'm going to kick off a big tour in February in Las Vegas. So February 3rd and 4th, Super Bowl weekend, we're at South Point Casino with a full-blown production. It's going to be the Wiggles for adults.
What is it? All right, so like, you're front man in this band?
Oh, yeah. There's no other way I would do it. It is, if I wasn't doing stand-up, it's very frustrating. My first love was to be a front man for a hard rock metal album and a metal band. And I started in rock clubs, and I would MC on high school night and bring all the rock guys there and sing with them. But I'd also MC doing comedy, and the comedy took off a lot quicker than holding down a band. So that's always been in me. And I've let out little dribs and drabs, but this time I just knew I was going to go for it. And instead of singing, in this time of my life, instead of singing Chasing Teenage Girls, I do a Metallica sounding of Raising Teenage Girls. That's where my life is at.
Jim Breuer, again, he's coming to town on Friday, September 16th, Troy Savings Bank Music Hall. And Jim Breuer and the Loud and Rowdy Songs from the Garage. Is there any, I know you just said you hate this, but is there any Goat Boy that comes out on the CD?
No, not funny, man. It's full-blown stick your nads on a table, rock and roll.
Love it, man. Jim Breuer, thank you for making time. Go Mets, brother.
You got it. Take care. Thanks for having me.
What an awesome guy. I love him, man. I love Jim Breuer so much. He's one of my favorite comedians. Again, Troy Savings Bank Music Hall in Troy, Friday, September 16th. Get your tickets now. And then Jim Breuer and the Loud and Rowdy Songs from the Garage.